Hello and welcome back to my channel. Oh, we've got a good one for you today. If you were given the choice of ₦1,000,000 or a book filled with wisdom, which would you pick? Don't go anywhere. We're still studying the book The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason, and today we're delving into chapter 5, which talks about the 5 laws of gold. Now, this is one of my favorite chapters in the book, hands down, because everything that happened in that chapter, like literally happened to me at one point in my life. So it's like real life. It's not just the author writing things that did not happen. And I'm very, very certain that this has happened to quite a lot of us. So we're going to jump right into it and we're going to look at the 5 laws of gold. But the background to the 5 laws of gold is the story of the richest man in Babylon and his son. Okay, so Akkad is like the richest man in Babylon, right? And he's got the son, the master, and the master grew up wealthy, grew up seeing his father wealthy. And when he got to the point where he was mature enough to take over the family business, the father decided that he needed to be proved outside. He needed to test his word, his metal outside. That if he succeeds, then he comes back and he inherits the property. But if he fails, then everything he has will be given to charity, given to the temple. So he gave his son 2 gifts to help him along the way. One was a tablet filled with wisdom, and the other was a bag of gold coins, a bag of Babylonian gold coins. And, gave the boy a Sanford party, and the boy went out to the world to, you know, to test his mettle, so to speak. And that is where the story gets interesting because along the way, he gets scammed. He invests in a business that crumbled. He became broke and poor and wretched and miserable because he actually did not know how to handle money. He was used to spending money. He had no real life, you know, he had no real life experiences in actually making money. So of course the money went just like that. And when he finally got to rock bottom, he remembered that the second parcel was still there, which is the tablet of wisdom that his father had given to him. And he finally unveiled it. And it struck him. If only he had paid attention to the tablet first, then he would not have squandered all his money and he would probably have doubled or tripled it. So at rock bottom, all he had left was the wisdom of his father. And with that wisdom, he was able to build back his wealth. So when he returned to Babylon, finally, after so many years abroad, he was able to tell his tale of how he went into penury and how he got out of it by relying on the wisdom that his father had so thoughtfully inscribed for him on a tablet. And it is that same wisdom that we're going to share today because I have put it to work in my life and it worked for me, and I'm very certain it is going to work for you. So let's jump into the 5 laws of gold. Okay, so I'm going to read from my notebook. I have this all jotted down. I don't have a teleprompter, so yeah, right. So the first law of gold is gold cometh gladly and in increasing quantity to any man who will put by not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future. I'll take it again. Gold comes gladly and in increasing quantity to any man who will put by not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future. So basically, the very first law of gold is like what we said in the previous videos. You must save a minimum of 10% of whatever you earn. Whatever you earn, you must save a minimum of 10% so that you can invest it towards your future. Now, the second law of gold is gold laboreth diligently and contentedly for the wise owner who finds for it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks in the field. Basically, gold would labor diligently and contented for you if you're wise to put it in the right kind of investments. Saving the money is not enough. you must put the money to work for you. And the more the money works for you, the more income you generate passively. So the second law of gold is always put your money to work. First law, save. Second law, put it to work. Let's look at the third law now. Now, the third law says gold clings to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling. So basically, like in the book, when he ventured into a business, he had no idea what the business was about. And of course, it crumbled. He invested his money into something he did not know anything about, and he lost a lot of money. So, when you want to invest your money, we have agreed, okay, you will save 10%. You would invest that 10%. Where you invest it matters a lot. If you invest it in something you do not know about, you are heading towards a crash. There's no two ways about it. I only invest in things that I have studied, in things that I am studying, and things that I know I have knowledge about. You won't find me investing in businesses that I can't explain how they make their money. That will never happen. I'm not yet a billionaire. I'm not. I don't have money to throw away. You know, and in the voice of that you know what I'm talking about. You're in Nigeria, if you know, you know. So okay, ignore that. So basically, you have to do your due diligence in order to invest and reap the benefits. Okay? So the fourth law of gold is gold slippeth away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar or which are not approved by those skilled in its kit. Is this not just what I was talking about? If you know what you're doing, you make money. If you don't know what you're doing, you will probably lose money. And there's no two ways about it. A lot of people who fall for these scams simply because they did not do their due diligence. So do your due diligence. Don't jump into get rich schemes. It will not help you. It really wouldn't. We'll talk about that in a subsequent video of how I almost got scammed. All right. And the fifth one is gold flees the man who would force it into impossible earnings, or who followeth the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investments. That's common sense. If you do not know what you are doing, if you don't know what you are doing, and you get attracted by 1,000% returns in 3 months, 5,000% returns in a year, money doubling schemes, invest 1 naira and get 10 naira every day, you would lose your money. All the Ponzi schemes, all the scams that we have witnessed in this country and in other countries, we can name them, the one that has triple M in it and the one that starts with a C and ends with an X. I don't want to call any names here, but you know what I'm talking about. People who lost money in all those ventures lost money because they wanted quick returns, quick, unreasonable returns. While most investment bankers, most financial advisors, I'm not a financial advisor, so I am not giving you any advice. I'm only telling you what I have been told. Okay, now that one is clear, sure? Okay, so most investment bankers and finance managers will tell you to take it slow, invest in things that bring you steady increments. Like we'll talk about mutual funds, index funds, investments that are safe, federal government saving bonds, treasury bills. The returns are not so sexy. I mean, we have it good right now because we can see returns as high as 20% per annum. So that's pretty awesome. But if you're looking for 20% every month, like some three-lettered forex businesses that have run away with people's money, like those ones, I did not mention any name. But it's because they were looking for 20% every month, and that is unrealistic. Sure, if you are willing to speculate and take the risk in the stock market, you can see returns of 20%, 30%, even 50% in a month. It happens. The Nigerian stock market has been on a bull run for like 8 weeks now. So we're seeing crazy things. One of my mutual fund tracks the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and Even me, Seth, I am amazed at how well it did in the month of May and in the month of June and in the month of July. So crazy returns, but yet the returns are reasonable when compared to what's going on in the stock market. So please don't put your money in money doubling schemes because you will lose that money and it's going to be very painful. So there we have it, the 5 laws of gold in Nigerian English. I hope you had fun. If you enjoy videos like this and you want to see more of my content, please click on the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and share it so that more people will get to see videos like this that will help them to grow mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, physically, into everything that God created them to be. So until next time, keep reading and keep growing.